8 weeks ago, I ran a 12-minute all-out fitness test and averaged 3:55 per K. I then started the Norwegian Singles Approach to training and ran the exact same test again yesterday, only this time I averaged 3:33. That's a 22-second per K improvement in just 2 months. I even tacked on an unplanned 3-minute test at the end and ran my fastest ever. Here's what happened.
That was so good.
So every 4 weeks, I do a fitness test to track my progress and update training paces. Now, the last time I did this test, which was before I started the Norwegian Singles Approach to training, the numbers indicated I was in about 3:12 marathon shape. Yesterday, though, everything changed. So I was pretty nervous coming into this test, and one of the reasons is that with the Norwegian Singles Approach to training, we're never running at an intensity above threshold apart from in testing and in racing. So, there's the element of surprise. You just don't really know what to expect. So the last time I ran at an intensity above threshold was at my 5K time trial 4 weeks ago. And I experienced a big jump in fitness then, and I kind of thought, right, well, that's my jump in fitness done now, and I was ready just to hunker down and grind away for the next 6 months, seeing incremental improvements. Because people who have tried this Norwegian Singles Approach say that 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to see a big jump in fitness, and then it's much more gradual after that. So I'd already had that big jump in fitness. So after that 5K, I was mentally preparing to just settle down and for things to be a bit more ordinary. But since that 5K, I've noticed that every single workout, I just get faster for the same effort. So I suspected that I perhaps had another big jump in fitness, but it just seemed too good to be true. I started doubting the data that my watch was giving. Yeah, it just seemed too good to be true. So coming into this, I didn't really know what to expect. And I thought, well, the best thing is just to kind of run by feel. That's why at the start, you kind of see the pace all over the place. I'm nervous. It takes a while to settle in. It felt really good. I didn't overcook it at the start. I managed to stay under control. And I was just surprised looking down at my watch and seeing the times in the 3:30s. I never see times like that. This is completely new territory for me. And so at the start, there was still, even though it felt okay, there was still this voice in my head that was like, you need to slow down. You're going to blow up. This is crazy. This is crazy. And yet it felt comfortable. So I just kept going, and it was really good having my son there. He's doing some filming and he was encouraging the whole way. And it was a bit of a weird run, to be honest. I felt like I was in a bit of a daze and struggled to maintain focus. There was just so much going on in my mind. There was so much disbelief. There was so much doubt. It was just a bit of a weird one. I should explain why a 12-minute test. That is really weird. And the reason is, so I do fitness tests every 4 weeks, and I alternate between a 5K time trial, which I always do at parkrun. And for the other fitness test, I do a 3-minute and a 12-minute all-out test. And the reason is that I use the Stryd foot pod, and I want to maintain an accurate estimated critical power, or FTP. And the way that we do that, on the power duration curve, there are certain critical time domains that you need to have an up-to-date all-out effort in. So around the 3-minute mark, the 12-minute mark, and the 20-minute mark, you need to make sure that every 4 to 8 weeks, you've got an all-out effort in each of those time domains. And if you do that, then the algorithm is actually really good at predicting your FTP, or critical power. And it's just a really useful training tool. So that's why I have such a strange test here. So coming towards the end here, I'm breathing, I'm hurting. You can tell it certainly was a really solid effort, but I do think I could have gone even harder, but just so thrilled with this run.
That was so good. Let's stop this. Oh man, I have to look at the numbers, but oh, that was huge PB.
Yeah.
Over 12 minutes. So happy.
Well, I've just done the 12-minute test, thrilled with that. I'm sure I've been telling you all about it in the voiceover, but I've decided to do an impromptu 3-minute test. So my hope is that I've got enough left in the legs, and then it'll be able to more accurately gauge my critical power, because at the moment it's pegged me at, I think, 381, and I don't believe that. So time to enter the pain cave again. Let's see what happens. Now, I find these 3-minute tests really hard to pace. Most of the time, I overcook it and completely blow up, and I'm just dying at the end. So I think in a way, it's good that this wasn't planned, because I couldn't psych myself out of it. Because it was just a spontaneous thing, there was a sense in which I didn't really care. Like, the only reason I was doing it is because I knew that my critical power was going to be overestimated. So I didn't have any pressure on myself. I'd already done the test. The 12-minute test rather. I was feeling great, so I just thought, why not? Let's have a bit of fun. So it was good from that point of view, but I definitely went into it scared. Like, I think at the end of this one, I definitely had more in the tank, more so than in the 12-minute test, because I was just terrified of blowing up the whole time.
Oh man, so good. That was hard, but I still had some left, I think. Oh, happy I did that. I'm gonna go look at the numbers.
So guys, I'm actually a bit speechless after that run. Like, genuinely, I don't know what to say. It just seems like every time I step out the door, my fitness has increased. It's wild. 7 weeks ago, the thought of a sub 3-hour marathon, it wasn't even a thought. It wasn't even on the table. I would have been happy just to run a PB, to run 3 hours 10. Whereas now, according to the numbers, it seems like it's going to be a pretty sure thing, which is just staggering. In 7 weeks. 7 weeks. I mean, the word unbelievable is a good word to use, because I don't believe it. Every time I run, I'm just like, what is happening? It feels like the same effort, and it's just quicker. As I said, I don't know what to say. I'm so excited. This Norwegian Singles Approach is black magic. You guys need to try it.
Well, here's a bit more of a detailed breakdown of the numbers. In that middle column, this is like a benchmark, the pre-NSA column. This is where I was at before I started training in the Norwegian Singles Approach. And then precisely 8 weeks later, I tested again. So in this video where I've done this fitness test, I've been training using NSA for exactly 7 weeks, which really isn't much time at all. And just look at those numbers. They speak for themselves, really. It's absolutely extraordinary. 3-minute test, 12-minute test, there's just no comparison. Now that critical power figure, if you're a Stryd user, you'll be familiar with that. If you're not a Stryd user, it basically corresponds with right at the top of LT2. So it marks when our bodies go from the heavy exercise domain into the severe. Now that 9% increase is incredible for 7 weeks. I've said so many times in this video that it's unbelievable, and it really is. I'm just so excited and so shocked at these numbers. So that V-dot threshold pace, this is using, the online V-dot calculators. I think it's to do with the Daniel system or something. And look at how that threshold pace has come down. 8 weeks ago, my threshold pace, according to that calculator, was 4:09 per K. Now, 3:50 per K, 19 seconds per K faster. So going from a 3:12 marathon to a 2:55, based on data, based on facts, based on what I can actually do, not what I hope to do, unbelievable. I'm so happy. As I said, coming into this block, I wouldn't even have dreamed of getting that 3:12 time down to under 3 hours. And now I'm thinking, man, maybe sub 2:55 is on the cards.
Next week, I've got the peak long run of the build, which is going to be awesome. It's 3 hours long. I'll be aiming for 120 grams an hour of carbs, and I'll be using my homemade gels. The week after that, I've got a 10K race, which I'm super pumped for. So heaps of good stuff coming up. And this story, it's shaping up to be quite a story. When I started out, obviously I heard about James Copeland's progress. I thought, there's no way that there's going to be that for me. Well,
I'm excited. It certainly is shaping up to, well, it's headed in that direction. So make sure you subscribe so you can follow this journey, see where it goes. I mean, my ultimate goal is to run a sub 2:30 marathon. Seems, again, I've used the word unbelievable a lot. Maybe I need to start believing. Maybe that sub 2:30 marathon is closer than I think. Join me for the ride. I'll see you next time.